All right, so are you ready to take a deep dive?
Always?
Okay, good. Because today we're going to be talking about the future of entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And we're going to be taking a look at this YouTube video called If You Have Multiple Interests, Start This One-Person Business.
Interesting.
Yeah, and this whole idea of getting paid to be yourself.
Yeah.
That's kind of a fun idea.
Yeah.
But what if it was more than just a fun idea?
Right.
What if that was actually the future of work?
Yeah. It's definitely a very appealing thought.
Yeah.
And, I think this video makes a pretty strong case for that.
Yeah.
Because it brings up the fact that a huge number,
Yeah.
almost half of the workforce is already freelancing.
That's a really good point.
47% to be exact.
Wow, yeah.
But it's not just about the numbers, right?
Right.
It's about a completely different way of looking at work
Yeah.
and looking at success.
Yeah, and what I think is really interesting about this video
Yeah.
is it's talking about this term, the creator economy, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard before.
For sure.
But it argues that this is really only the beginning,
Yeah.
that it could actually double in size by 2028.
Absolutely.
So if everybody's becoming a creator,
Right.
who are they creating for?
Yeah, that's the question, right?
Yeah.
I think that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Because the video suggests that this whole shift we're seeing
Yeah.
really reflects a growing distrust of these traditional institutions.
Okay.
Like, people are craving more autonomy.
Yeah.
They want to learn from sources that they trust.
Right.
They want to build their own career paths.
Yeah.
They want to define success on their own terms.
It's kind of like a mass exodus from
Yeah.
the old way of doing things.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like opting out of the system.
Yeah. And so what I think is really interesting about this
Yeah.
is it's almost like we're becoming like these mini CEOs of our own lives.
Right.
Like we're curating our own education.
Yeah.
We're finding our own work.
Absolutely.
It's like we're really taking control over our own destiny.
Totally.
Have you seen this playing out in your own world?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, just look at how many people are doing things like online courses,
Yeah.
workshops, coaching programs, like
Mhm.
instead of, maybe going for a traditional degree,
Okay.
they're finding these little niche communities online
Yeah.
where they can connect with people who share their interests,
Yeah.
find mentors.
It's almost like
Right.
the internet is becoming this massive decentralized university
That's a great way to put it.
where everybody is both student and teacher at the same time.
It's true.
But this video goes even further.
Okay.
It makes a pretty bold claim.
All right. I'm intrigued.
It says that smart people shouldn't go to college.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, that's one of the most provocative points, I think,
Definitely.
in this whole video. And it quotes from a book
Okay.
that says that knowledge not found in schools
Okay.
is the source of money not found in employment.
Interesting. So,
So it's basically making the argument
yeah.
that schools are churning out all these graduates,
Right.
but they're prepared for a world that doesn't even exist anymore.
Right. Like, the rules have changed
Right.
and the education system hasn't caught up.
So is college becoming obsolete?
Well,
Is that what we're saying here?
I mean, the video definitely seems to think so.
Okay.
It argues that traditional education
Yeah.
really emphasizes things like obedience and conformity,
Okay.
which, to be fair,
Yeah,
those are important skills in some contexts.
of course. Yeah.
But in the creator economy,
Right.
what's really rewarded is creativity, adaptability,
Right.
this kind of constant learning.
Yeah.
So it's a different set of values.
But I do think it's important to say
Yeah.
that, like, formal education,
Yeah.
it still holds value for some people.
Oh, for sure.
Certain fields.
Absolutely.
It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Totally agree.
But even if you do go the traditional route, this video is really emphasizing the importance of
Yeah.
self-directed learning,
Absolutely.
which I think is something that we can all agree on.
100%. Because the world is changing so fast
Yeah.
that no matter what you learn in school,
Yeah.
you're going to have to keep learning
You have to constantly
for
learn.
your life.
Yeah. So how does all of this tie back
Yeah.
to this idea of a one-person business
Okay.
that the video is advocating for?
Well, the video argues that being a creator
Yeah.
is about more than just like, making funny videos
Okay.
or posting selfies on Instagram.
Right.
It's about building a personal brand
Okay.
that's really based on your unique perspective
Yeah.
and expertise.
Okay.
It's like becoming a teacher,
Okay.
but instead of a classroom,
Right.
you have this global audience online.
Yeah. And what I like about that analogy
Yeah.
is It's almost like you're building your own little media empire.
Exactly.
But instead of having a team of people,
Right.
it's just you.
Yeah. You're the solopreneur, you're the CEO, the content creator, all rolled into one.
So if you were to build a one-person media company,
Okay.
what would your niche be?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What knowledge or skills would you share with the world?
I'd have to think about that. Yeah, that is a good question.
So it seems like this video goes into the practical side of this whole creator thing.
It does.
It talks about building a content ecosystem.
Right.
Now, what exactly does that even mean?
So basically, it's about creating content
Okay.
across different platforms.
Yeah.
Like, social media, newsletters, blogs, videos,
Right.
maybe even podcasts.
Like this one.
Exactly.
Okay.
And weaving it all together.
So it's more strategic.
Right. It's not just posting randomly.
Okay.
It's about creating a unified experience for the audience.
So it's almost like a network effect.
Yeah,
Each piece of content kind of drives people
exactly.
back to your central hub.
That's a great way to put it.
And then the video talks about creating what they call high-value products.
Right.
It's not enough to just entertain.
Yeah.
You need to give people something they can use,
Yeah.
something valuable.
It has to solve a problem.
Right. So we're not talking about just like another cat video or something like that.
Not just entertainment.
What are we talking about?
Think more like online courses, ebooks, coaching programs, templates,
Oh,
things that actually provide tangible value and help people make progress.
okay.
The video actually gives an example of someone named Ali Abdal.
Oh, yeah, the productivity guy.
Right. He was a doctor.
He was a doc.
And now he's a productivity YouTuber.
Wow.
And apparently he makes more money now from YouTube than he did as a doctor.
That's wild.
It's pretty amazing. It just goes to show if you can identify a real need and create a product that meets that need effectively, you can really build a successful business.
That's super inspiring.
Yeah,
But I imagine that takes a lot of work.
it does.
What are some of the biggest challenges that somebody might face when they're trying to build a content ecosystem?
Well, I think one of the biggest hurdles is just cutting through the noise.
Yeah.
I mean, the internet is so crowded.
Yeah.
There's so much content out there. It can be really difficult to stand out.
Yeah, especially when you're just starting.
Especially in the beginning.
Why?
And then the other challenge is consistently creating high-quality content.
Okay.
Content that actually resonates with your audience
Yeah.
and that requires really understanding what your audience needs and wants.
So it's not enough to just create content that you think is cool.
Right.
You have to create content that your audience wants.
It has to actually be useful and valuable.
Yeah.
So it's about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where your passion and your audience's needs intersect.
So what kind of content keeps you coming back for more?
For me, I like a good balance of information and inspiration. I love stuff that teaches me new things, gives me advice I can actually use,
Okay.
but I also appreciate content
Yeah.
that makes me think differently, challenges my perspective,
Okay.
expands my understanding.
I think that's a great point.
And you know what? It
That's it.
actually connects to another key idea that this video explores,
Right.
which is psychological development
Okay.
and how it plays a role in the creator economy.
How do stages of development?
Well, it might sound a bit out there,
Yeah.
but the video suggests that people are drawn to creators
Oh,
who are either at their same stage of development
okay.
or maybe a few stages ahead.
So it's not just about the information,
Right.
but also the messenger.
It's about the messenger
Yeah.
and their journey.
Okay, so we naturally connect
We do.
with people who understand our struggles,
Right.
our aspirations,
Exactly.
our perspectives.
We want to learn from people who have been there.
So the video is arguing that recognizing your own stage of development
Yeah.
is actually crucial for attracting an audience
It is.
that resonates with your message.
Because they're going to connect with that authenticity.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
So if someone's trying to build a career around,
Yeah.
let's say, financial advice,
Yeah.
they would probably connect better
They would.
with an audience going through
Yeah.
similar financial challenges or goals.
Makes sense. Right.
Right.
Like you want to learn from someone who's been in your shoes.
But to really understand this idea,
Yeah.
I think we need to understand
We.
what
yeah.
these stages of development actually are.
Okay.
They're not just random categories.
Right. They're not just made up.
So walk me through these stages
All right.
and how they play out in this creator economy.
I'm happy to. Okay. So basically, the video draws on this framework
Okay.
that outlines several key stages.
Okay.
And early on,
Yeah.
we're mostly focused on basic needs,
Right.
our immediate surroundings. But as we mature, we start developing a sense of self,
Yeah.
our place in the world,
Okay.
and then we start to think about bigger things.
Like what kind of things?
Purpose meaning legacy.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
how does this translate
Yeah.
to the creator economy?
That's a good question.
Well, think about it.
Okay.
Someone in the early stages
Yeah.
might create content
Yeah.
focused on practical skills
Okay.
or immediate gratification.
Okay.
But someone further along
Yeah.
might focus on things like personal growth,
Right.
self-discovery,
Okay.
social impact even.
And their audience would change too.
Exactly. Their audience would shift.
So it's almost like a natural filtering process.
It is.
Yeah.
Creators and their audience, they kind of grow together. They gravitate towards each other based on their shared values and aspirations.
So it's not just about what you're saying.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's about where you're at
Yeah.
and where your audience is at.
It's about the stage of life.
It is.
This whole concept of stages of development,
Yeah.
it really adds another layer
It does.
to this whole creator economy thing.
For sure.
It's not just about making content.
It's about understanding
Yeah.
where you are
Right.
and connecting with the right people.
Connecting with an audience
Exactly.
that's on a similar wavelength.
That's the key.
Yeah. This has been a really great conversation.
It has. I've enjoyed this.
We've really gone beyond just summarizing this video
We have.
and actually had a deep dive
A true deep dive.
into the ideas.
You know what? This video ends with a really thought-provoking question.
Okay.
In a world where AI and automation are changing everything so quickly,
Yeah.
what skills and qualities are actually going to matter in the future?
That is the million-dollar question.
It is.
What's going to set us apart?
Right, like when robots can do almost anything.
Yeah. What's going to make us valuable?
Well, I think it's something we all need to be thinking about.
For sure.
Because what was once essential
Yeah.
might become obsolete,
Yeah.
and new skills that we can't even imagine yet are
Right.
going to emerge.
But what do you think will be important?
Well, based on this conversation
Yeah.
and just looking at the trends,
Yeah.
I think things like adaptability,
Okay.
creativity,
Mm.
critical thinking,
Yeah.
and the ability to connect with other people.
Yeah.
I think those are going to be more important than ever.
So it's almost like we need to become lifelong learners.
We do.
Right.
Constantly evolving,
Yeah.
upgrading our skill set.
So just to recap, we've talked about the rise of the creator economy,
Yeah.
the changing role of education.
The importance of personal branding,
Right.
building that content ecosystem,
Creating those high-value products.
and understanding those stages of development
Right.
that connect creators and their audiences.
And of course, the big question.
The big question.
What skills will be most valuable?
In this AI-powered future?
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
The future of work is going to be really interesting.
Definitely not boring.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
It's been a pleasure.
into the future of entrepreneurship
Hopefully it's given you some food for thought
and maybe inspired you
to explore.
to explore these possibilities.
The creator economy, it's out there.
It's out there.
It's waiting to know.
And remember,
The most valuable knowledge is the knowledge you actually use.
so true.
Go out there and create something amazing.